I was involved in a satellite project that was measuring the Earth's magnetic field, both to understand the magnetic field inside the Earth and how it's changing in the long scale, but also to understand the magnetic field that is created just by the interaction with the sun and the solar wind, and it creates these current systems in the ionosphere, and that affects the magnetic field we measure close to the Earth too. So you have to subtract these two things from each other in some way. The Earth is like a big magnet. Inside the core of the Earth is magnetic material, and it creates this magnetic field that we also feel out here on the surface, and actually we feel it all the way out into space. And it's called, what they call it, a magnetic dynamo inside the Earth. It's this molten iron mainly that creates creates currents that then generates the field constantly. But because it's all the time changing, and we do know for a fact that the Earth's magnetic field reverses, the poles do reverse. On average, every 200,000 years or so. And the thing is, we're sort of overdue for a reversal, and that's what makes many people think in terms of maybe it's going to happen soon. We don't know too much about what would happen. The thing is that both people, humans and animal life have lived through reversals, and it didn't do anything too dramatic or too drastic. The main thing that will happen, I think, is that the magnetic strength, the strength of the magnet, will decrease. As it is now, the magnet in the Earth is almost like a bar magnet. It's what we call a dipolar field. It has one north pole, one south pole, and at the time when the field is about to reverse, it will the first thing that will happen is that it will become less dipolar. It will get more complex. It will create many poles. It's like it will break up into and be less like just one bar magnet, but if you have many magnets together pointing many different directions, and you will see many smaller poles. But overall, that will feel like the magnetic field strength, like the magnet has become weaker. And the main effect of that, we believe, is that we will then see more radiation coming from the outer space and from the sun, when the sun has flares and explosions and solar particles. But all the intricacies and all the unanswered questions that we still know so little about, what happens and when will the poles reverse, how is it going to be when it does it, that really fascinated me. You have to be curious and like science, but not in any big, complicated way. I think that often scares people away, so don't be scared. It's not big and complicated. It's also each little puzzle, and you can make your own contribution to the little puzzle, and then you will meet with all your colleagues. You'll see how it all fits into the big picture, and we are learning to understand more about the world we live in. And I couldn't think of a nicer job to have than to try to understand the world we're living in.